Hello and welcome back to chapter 2. Oh, oh, sorry, I don't have any fancy stuff to record this. Oops. Sorry, guys.
We're almost there.
Dun, dun, dun. I will say, got this for free on the Xbox Gold subscription. Just started it. But if you're considering getting a gold subscription, I'd say do it. I've gotten a lot of different cool games, and there's a lot of discounts on games I really like, so.
Stay on board. There's guys coming to unload.
Works for me.
Welcome to Darkwater Island, Mr. Pierce.
Why, thank you, Captain Fitzroy.
Fitzroy.
So, what wind brought you?
Does the Hawkins case mean anything to you?
A sad story that we would all prefer to forget. Charles Hawkins may have been a landlubber, but he was a good man.
And his wife, Sarah Hawkins.
A nice young woman, and a great painter. What a tragedy. You know what? Go have a drink at the Stranded Whale. What you need is a good pick-me-up. Mitchell may not be very welcoming, but his bar holds a surprise for you. As for me, you'll find me at the Harbor Master's office. If it's the Hawkins family that brings you here, I have a pile of documents that should interest you.
Understood. I'm going for a look around the docks.
Whoa. Guy was gonna smack me with his fishing rod. Must not be catching anything though. So, I've never played this game before, so I'm not sure if I should just pay attention to the objectives.
The police do their work. Hey, Sullivan, can't you go any faster? You can't do that. But it's only a fish. A fish? You've got no idea. Don't badmouth what you don't know. You pay for it, for sure. Okay, that's enough. Step back and let us do our job. Hey, That's no way to treat an omen.
Oh, yeah? He's gonna get us into trouble. You can't understand. You're not sailors. It's a sign. There's something coming. Something real bad.
Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters. You're crazy.
Cops, they can't understand.
Damn stupid idiots.
Forget it. Nobody listens to us anyway.
That's no way to treat an omen.
Oh, yeah? He's gonna get us into trouble. You can't understand. You're not sailors.
The blood is just beginning to coagulate. It died a short time ago. Only a specialist would know what killed it.
That's no way to treat an omen.
Oh, yeah? He's gonna get us into trouble. You can't understand. You're not sailors. It's a sign. There's something coming.
The same goes for you, sir. Move along.
They seem to be very agitated about a dead animal.
You're telling me. These fools think that putting the whale back in the water will bring about the end of the world.
They're superstitious.
If only you knew. They only listen to Captain Fitzroy. And not always. And you. What brings you to our island?
I'm looking for this address. Warehouse 36, Darkwater Harbor.
I like you, so I'll be frank with you. Don't go near the place. Don't try to get in.
Why?
Because I told you so. Learn to accept some friendly advice. Now, please, allow me to do my job.
You can't.
Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters. You're crazy.
They're cops. They can't.
You can see that I'm busy, can't you?
You
That's
can't
no way
understand.
to
You're
treat
not
an omen.
sailors. Oh, yeah? It's a sign. There's something coming.
Interesting. Since we had that dream, if you've been watching all the episodes in the very beginning, you look up and there's all these.
Can we sort this out? You can seize that trunk. There's nothing to sort out. Your chum wanted to stir
Nothing
us
for
up.
you here either. Pretext.
You can stay to watch if you want. You can pick up the beast.
People are creepy. I don't know if I finished my thought or not.
Prohibition is just a joke around here. That suits me fine.
Okay, but this one I can't actually grab, I guess. In the beginning, you look up and there's all these dead fish parts and whale parts, and shark parts, whatever. Turns out it's just a dream, but
Hey, be careful.
wow, I'm kind of a jerk.
Let's get him another drink. He's dry.
In my bar, we don't serve troublemakers.
You saw what happened. He's the troublemaker.
Oh, you're a true mainlander. A real princess. You strut around with your la-di-da ways, and then, as soon as the pressure rises, you start squealing. You don't have what it takes to drink my whiskey. You've got to earn it.
I'm here for information, not for a fight.
I prefer it that way. Speak then. I reserve the right to answer or not.
The stranded whale. I guess this bar has been here a long time.
What can I tell you? I'm a nostalgic sort of guy. The name, it reminds us of the golden age of dock water, when our whalers left for long months and came back sweating and stinking of the oil and flesh of the whales they'd been hunting.
It was a tough time, all the same.
Ah, but steeped in glory. We've never known such wealth since then.
What can you tell me about it?
We all knew she was famous on the mainland for her paintings. Never understood why. Then, I don't want to speak ill of the dead.
Her style made her famous. How would you describe it? Torture?
Yeah, well, it wasn't normal. I mean, for a young woman with a child and all that. We saw them in the papers and we said to ourselves, who can paint such things? Is that how she sees the world?
So they made you feel uncomfortable.
You need to see them for yourself. Make up your own mind.
Her vision. Was it so terrible?
The way I see it, the truth is really a question of point of view.
What do you mean by that?
Do you still trust the truth after a bottle of whiskey?
I've got what I need.
Anything else?
Do you know where this place is? Warehouse 36, Darkwater Harbor.
The Hawkins warehouse. I see, yeah. If I were you, I wouldn't hang around there.
Why not?
First off, there are rumors. Sailors from around here say you can hear noises coming from the warehouse at night. Screams, that sort of thing.
Screams?
And that's not all. There's the fate of its owners and all the superstitions that go with it. But I'll say no more. Anything else?
I didn't expect to find alcohol on this island. What's the source of this miracle?
You mean who? Our source of supply wouldn't like me to betray them to the first comer.
I'll tell nobody.
She'd know it anyway. Anything else?
That'll be all for now.
That lady.
What you looking at, stranger?
I've rarely seen a woman who can hold her liquor so confidently.
What gives you the right to judge me?
It was a compliment.
So what? Let me drink, stranger. I told you to beat it.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you like our song?
We're true Simons. We may not be pros, but we give it all we've got.
That's true. It's a reminder of the time when we were still fishing for whales off Darkwater Island.
I've never heard this song before.
Only people from here know it. It tells the story of the miraculous catch.
It's a local legend?
Watch what you say, young man.
That catch saved our island.
Where's the proof?
We're the proof. Without it, the whole of Darkwater would have died of hunger in 1847.
It's true. Everything happened just as it says in the newspaper report.
What report?
The one that's framed right behind you.
Our grandparents tasted its flesh,
And it was delicious.
What brought whaling to an end?
The whales, of course.
They all disappeared.
You exhausted the stocks.
You could say that, yes. There were fewer and fewer of them.
Until the last, the biggest.
One of the miraculous catch.
Exactly.
I bid you farewell, gentlemen.
Good night, stranger.
So
That's
long.
weird. Given the fact that the whale's dead there. Sure.
Nightmares. Can hear things and voices whispering. Will follow its reader and appear at various locations, gifted with its own consciousness, until it finds a new reader. Ah, that's it. Maybe we should let him take it. No, the risks are too high. It's a book, after all. Pure knowledge. The miraculous catch. Apparently, the most significant event of the last 80 years.
21st of May, 1847, miraculous catch. The Scylla returns to port to save Darkwater from famine. We had given up hope. The crew of the Scylla, or whatever remains of it, returned to Darkwater port late on Tuesday afternoon. Locals immediately rushed to the docks to welcome the last whaling ship on the island. People were amazed at the sight of unbelievable catch the brave vessel had on board. Of a size that went beyond the formidable toothed whales. The What? Covered the whole deck. Parts of it were hanging over the sides of the ship. Survivors told a frightening account of their catch, but also of its meat, unmatched in quality and plentiful nutritious benefits. There's no doubt immense size of this whale will allow numerous inhabitants of Darkwater to feed themselves, bringing an end to famine, which part of the island is suffering. It says, warehouse for rent. Mr. Marks is putting his warehouse out for rent from June for fishing, workshop, or storage activities. You can contact him via your favorite newspaper or visit him on the docks. Special evening at the Stranded Whale to come celebrate the return of the brave whalers. All of the staff at the Stranded Whale invite you to an exceptional and free tasting event. Come with your family or with friends to taste the miraculous catch. Each person will leave with a bottle of oil, so do not hesitate.
And then he said, "You have no right to treat us like this."
And the doctor, what did he say?
He laughed.
My God.
You said,
So there's an asylum here.
Charles Hawkins was a heavy drinker and a debtor. Interesting.
Miss Baker, always free for the lady.
I wonder what Captain Fitzroy has got to say about this woman cat.
Terms of our agreement clear. Keep your men under control. You cannot afford to provoke us. No need to answer this message. Just make your payment to the carrier. Cat. Interesting.
Broken. This place seems half abandoned. Fishing equipment. Could do with some rust remover.
Looks like there is nothing in the bathroom. Ooh, and we have a door that opens and closes the same.
A souvenir from a more prosperous era. I guess this blackboard hasn't been wiped for more than 70 years. The Scylla. It finished up beached at the entrance to the harbor. This man and Fitzroy could be twins.
He has a wooden leg. Nothing on the back. Can't help but think eventually we'll hit something that has something on the back, because every game I've ever played where you can rotate things like that.
What a
there's always
macabre
something-
souvenir.
So he's got the wooden leg from that dude. Maybe that's his grandfather. Maybe his grandfather was the one that got the miraculous catch. We'll find out.
I brought out the Charles Hawkins cargo manifests. They're on the table next to you. But in truth, you're likely to be disappointed. When you're done, come join me on the deck. I brought out the Charles Hawkins cargo manifests. They're on the table.
These manifests are signed by Charles Hawkins. That's all I'll get from them.
Only a few dates are still legible: 1890, 1907, and a partial date. The rest of the documentation is blacked out. Who would want this information to be hidden?
From here, I see everything that goes on in the harbor. The hard-working lives of my sailors, the fights of the stranded whale. Even the antics of these wharf rats don't escape me.
It's you who lays down the law around here.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I'm just the last serving captain on Darkwater. Tell me what I can do to help you.
Your manifests have been blacked out. They're totally unreadable.
Yeah, I saw that. I've got no idea who did it or why. I don't remember having countersigned anything special enough for someone to hide it.
And why obliterate the dates as well as the goods stored in the warehouse?
You mean that the dates have some meaning?
I'm surprised Charles Hawkins had goods to store, knowing that whaling stopped in 1847.
I see that you're interested in the history of our island. Indeed, maritime activities ceased altogether at the end of the last century. I imagine that the Hawkins family had other types of contracts.
But you don't know with whom?
No, it was none of my business.
I'm just back from the wharves. The dead killer whale is unsettling the sailors.
Ah, yes. Us men of the sea are superstitious folk.
Killer whales don't have many known predators.
That's true. And normally, they're not found around here. But, you're gonna take me for a fool.
Give it a try.
Have you heard about the depths? Trenches that plunge into the earth and that shelter creatures unlike any other.
You're talking about mythology.
Indeed, you're right.
The police took the decision to put the killer whale back into the sea.
You've got to understand them. They didn't know what to do with it.
I think that was a mistake. Who says that whatever caused those wounds is no longer in these waters?
You think we should have kept it?
To look into the real cause of its death, at least. The miraculous catch. Is it a local legend?
Not at all. It's an episode from our glorious past. Go read the story of the sailor's return to Darkwater Harbor. It's displayed on a wall of the stranded whale.
I was looking at your photograph. One of the man in front of the book.
Ah, yes, I can see the one you're talking about.
Interesting resemblance. I thought it was you, but with a wooden leg.
And for good reason. That's my father in the photograph.
Your father?
John Fitzroy, captain of the Scylla. His wooden leg is here. You can go and see it if you're interested.
I found a threatening letter signed by a certain cat.
What? I don't mind you visiting my harbor master's office, but I prefer if you didn't go through my affairs.
Are you being blackmailed?
Not exactly, no. That shyster wants to make us pay protection money.
With any success?
I wouldn't say that, but she terrifies my men as much as her own.
Can you not do anything to stop her?
Don't you worry about that.
I'm looking for Warehouse 36. Do you know where it is?
Look, it's right there. The warehouse is opposite the jetty. You can't miss it.
Understood.
You know who the building belongs to, don't you?
It belonged to the Hawkins family.
Precisely. Ship owners from father to son.
I think that somebody here wanted me to search this warehouse. I shall be on my way.
So come back and see me when you've got something new.
Can I get through? Okay.
Oh, yeah. He's gonna get us into trouble. You can't understand. You're not sailors.
What could have done so much damage?
Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters. You're crazy.
Cops, they can't understand.
Damn stupid idiots.
Forget it. Nobody listens to us anyway.
Where do you think you're going?
I thought that the Hawkins case had been closed. That's true. So what are you doing on guard duty in front of this house?
Who's asking the questions here, the cop or the tourist?
Who are these others so interested in the warehouse?
And why would I tell you?
You and I are on the same side of the law.
Oh, yeah?
You don't want to know the truth behind this case.
Are you saying our work was not up to snuff? Forget it.
What more can you say about the death of the Hawkins family?
Not much more than what everyone knows. I wasn't on the case. They were all burnt to death, right? Up at their place.
The whole mansion went up in flames.
Don't get it into your head to go wandering around up there. It's dangerous.
What do you mean by that?
The only one left there is old Silas, and the accident has affected him badly. He can be unpredictable, especially if a stranger starts poking around the property.
Is he a danger to the public?
No, he's in his own home. Do yourself a favor. Leave him well alone.
You live here?
Why did you do that, huh? We saw what you did to St. Brendan. Yeah, we'll teach you to come onto our island and ridicule our protectors.
I've never heard of this saint. Is it a local belief?
But everyone knows St. Brendan, the navigator. He's the patron saint of whales and whalers.
What happened to the statue?
Go see for yourself. He's at the end of the jetty. There's you, our beloved statue, and then those two bozos behind us. Wait, now that I think about it, it's got to be them. There's one of them who's always going back and forth to the statue. Quieter. That's all we need for them to hear us. What brings you to dark water?
Isn't it a bit early for alcohol?
We got nothing better to do anyway. There's not much work around here. Fitzroy gives us a few chores every now and again, but since the whaling station shut down, ain't a lot of jobs left around here. So we drink.
Peculiar house.
Yeah, that's where we live. Our boat. It's not because it doesn't float anymore that we're going to abandon it.
That statue represents your local saint.
What do you mean by local, exactly? You wouldn't be looking down at us, like all townspeople do. St. Brendan. He protected Wayland until
The two guys behind you. What are they guarding?
the bootleggers. They're protecting their territory. They really don't have a choice. They're more scared of Cat than an attack by... If only they would kill each...
Is it Cat who's shaking down Captain Fitzroy?
Oh, hold on just a minute. We didn't... Nothing at...
I've taken enough of your time.
I'll see you later. Tell me. No, if it gets out, I'll have serious problems with you-know-who. I bet that you hid them somewhere in your hut on the docks. Not even, and don't go looking there.
How could you be dumb enough to leave the entrance to the warehouses unguarded?
Keep your voice down. Why not go and shout at the cat while you're at it? I don't want to end up with her little knife under my throat.
It's a stiletto, you idiot. And with that smell on your breath, I don't give you much chance anyway. Why, you could tell me. Who's this guy?
No idea. You better keep it shut.
Well, we don't.
What's with you wandering around here like a hungry dog?
We saw you talking to the two soaps. Go die of thirst, the lot of you. It'll stink less.
I've got to enter the Hawkins warehouse. I guess it's gonna be complicated.
No, it's very simple, in fact. Fuck off.
I don't give a damn about your racket. I just want to get into this warehouse.
And we don't give a damn about you. Whatever your reason for wanting inside, there's nothing we can do for you.
So, who are you?
Are you stupid or are you doing it on purpose?
Everybody knows us on Darkwater.
I've just arrived.
Let's just say we're standing guard for the owner of the site. And we let no one enter her property.
What happened to the statue of St. Brendan? Great.
What makes you think we did it?
We're bootleggers, not savages.
Who do you think defaced the statue?
What do I know? They could have done it by themselves.
The sailors.
Who else, in your opinion? And who's interested?
What are you guarding exactly?
Listen, bonehead, we already told you that we're guarding our boss's turf.
Cat. She's your boss.
What?
You listen through keyholes.
She's the boss, yeah. She says who goes in or not.
Shut up, you dummy. You wanted to know that you also talk too much.
She must be quite intimidating if she can make two men.
She redid the smile at the last one.
I hope you had a good dentist.
No, you don't understand. She really...
But he only smiles with the left.
She sounds frightening.
And she doesn't like to be talked about behind her.
I've got to get inside. It's your boss who sent me.
Oh, yeah? And why didn't she say anything to us?
She sent me to see who's filching her stock.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You got no proof to back up your claims, and I'd advise you against snitching.
If I can't get rid of those two, I'll have to look for another way.
That beast back in the water, you shysters, you're crazy.
You saw what happened with those sailors. Don't hang around here unless you want trouble with the bootleggers.
I've seen the kind of messages their boss sends. You're not scared of her.
Of course I am. Everyone's scared of that woman. She's not interested in small fry like me. You, on the other hand, nose around too much, you'll have dealings with her.
This warehouse looks abandoned. Why does it interest them so much?
No doubt a question of territory, but I ain't asking. You want 'em?
Good. I shall take my leave. It looks like there's a way in under this grate. A whale vertebra. If the newspaper clipping in the bar is true, this bone is a real fossil. A handle. It must come from these old winches. I could use this old...
Okay.
A ratchet device. Exactly what I need.
Now what do I need? Goodness gracious. Do I just keep going up and down and finding like a new thing each time?
It should be possible to mount this cogwheel on the winch. Looks like everything is in its place. All I have to do is turn this handle.
So there's like green and gassy. Up.
Smoke. It's coming from this oil. Smells harmless, but should I beware of psychotropic effects?
What in the world? Ah! Okay. We're getting into some creepiness. Into chapter 2.
This is primitive. Ugh, this place stinks. What is the connection between this place and the Sarah Hawkins case? The glass is shattered, like someone smashed it. Was it before or after the removal of these bandages? Someone treasures this crumpled picture to the point of sleeping with it. Is this one of Sarah Hawkins' paintings? Le Petit Parisien. Who might keep a news clipping about Sarah Hawkins? Can't sleep. I know how that feels. It smells as bad as it looks. Who has enough money to buy painkillers but stays in a place like this?
tell me about the Hawkins case. Is there anyone in there? You! Don't move! You again. I told you to stay away from this warehouse.
Wound up? You mean messed up?
No. We don't take no lessons from the likes of you. We do our job carefully and fairly. No stone was left unturned.
Really? Can you explain what this painting is doing here?
This strange portrait. Wait, I know it. It was in the Hawkins mansion when we came to investigate the fire.
So you confirm that it was removed from the crime scene? Interesting. I'd like to go and see the mansion.
Of course. You want to go back along his trail? I'd like to understand how this painting made it to here. Come on. My car's parked down the way. Andrews, would you please shut the door? And open your eyes, damn it. This guy went right under your nose. God damn it. Her again. This case has nothing to do with you, Baker. Clear the passage or I'll shut you up for obstruction.
Officer Bradley, you've finally grown a pair. Too bad you're too fat to see them down there.
Why, you?
Come on, keep the smile. You don't want to force me to widen it.
Okay, I get it. Can we go to the mansion now?
Who the hell are you? What were you doing on my turf? I've got my eye on you. We'll meet again.
Is it far, this mansion?
Look behind you, at the top of the ridge. You see the building? That's the Hawkins mansion. Come on, we got some driving to do.
Huzzah!